populated there. Now I'm going to jump down here to my billing information section. So this is a section I want to end with here within the actual SOAP note. So now, as a provider here, I put in my information. I'm going to go into my billing information section, and I can see my assessment codes to the top. The P with the X on the bottom is indicating that that's a primary code. So your primary code will always be your first code. If you need to change it, you can always just put an X next to maybe like hypertension is the primary code. But just as a reference, the first code in your assessment section will become the primary. Down below, I have my procedure codes. Now, these procedure codes are sitting here because I actually had them drop down with many of my labs. But you may not have any sitting here, so you can always click on Add CPT to add in your CPT codes. I can search my CPT by code or even description here. I even have categories on the left-hand side. So if I've made any categories, I can search based on my favorites, or maybe I'm looking for my hospital CPT codes or injections. I can find just those codes that I've populated in the category. I can even add in my E&M code here. So if I click on Add E&M, it allows me to search for my E&M code. So if this was like, let's say, a new patient, and I want to bill for a level 3, I can click on level 3 here, 99203, click OK, and it populates that code down below. In my settings, I've indicated to associate, so it's gone and associated in my 250.00 and 40.1. If it didn't associate, I could click on the ICD column here, and I could select which ICD codes I want to associate it with. So in this case, 1 and 2. Any additional modifiers, populated to the top. There's also an E&M coder here. E&M coder could be used to help suggest a code. So under the E&M coder, there's chart-based E&M coder, which basically will let you know based on if it's established or new patient, whether if the history was problem-focused, expanded problem-focused, detailed, or comprehensive. So in this case, I had extended HPI, review of systems, this example wasn't documented, and history was populated, so it's saying it's expanded problem-focused. Examination performed was kind of regular and symptomatic here, so expanded problem-focused. Number of diagnoses was limited. Complexity of data to be reviewed was limited. Risk of complications was limited. So it's giving me low complexity medical decision making. So with those 3 items, it's indicating that a 99213 could be used, and I could accept that code. So based on what I've documented in the chart there, it's giving me a code that could be used. I could also go by time-based. Time-based is going to allow me to indicate whether it's a new, established, or consultation, and then say, okay, it took me 45 minutes. And now I say, okay, then go ahead and use a 99204. And once I click accept code, it'll populate that information there within my procedure code section. If there's one that I don't want to use here, if there's my mistake, I added it in, I can click on remove. Just add it in there, and I don't want it, I can just click remove there and remove it from my procedure codes. Any billing notes that I want to put in, I can type in here to the bottom or use my browse keywords list. Billing notes do show up on the claim, so these notes will show up on the claim. And if you do see notes here already, they can flow from front office as well. So if the front office staff member has put any notes in the billing notes section of the appointment window, it would show up here. Follow-up, if I want to indicate to my front office staff members that we need a follow-up with this patient, I can select one of the toggle buttons here, like let's say 2 weeks, maybe 4 weeks. I can put in my follow-up information. If the follow-up was not applicable, I could select follow-up NA, indicating that we don't need a follow-up at this point. We also have a S button here. Remember the blue S's here indicate structured data. So if I have a structured data question built, I can go ahead and add this in. So maybe I want to indicate no follow-up is needed. So it just puts in the information there, no follow-up is needed. And if I'm done with my billing information, so if I put in my ICDs, my CPTs, and as a provider I've associated them, I can click done. So once I click done, I'm letting my billing staff know that, okay, I finished putting in my CPTs and ICDs I've associated, so you can start the claim process. I may not be completely done with documenting information on my progress note, but I am done documenting information in my billing information section. Now, once I click done there, it did trigger the common send window. This is the modern view of the common send window, which allows me to take action on multiple items if I haven't done so already. So notice here, I see my RXs, and it's letting me know here that I can go and e-prescribe these medications, or if I want from the drop-down fax or print, gives me all my details for my prescription. Okay, and I don't need to do these here because I've already e-prescribed. I can unselect these if I don't want to e-prescribe at this point. But the green check mark letting me know that they're ready to go. Labs, if I need to transmit, print, fax, it'll set my mode there. I can always change it here, fax or e-transmit if I have an interface. The green check marks to the right-hand side are letting me know that they're ready to go. If I'm missing any information, it will put an X there and say, okay, exclamation mark, excuse me, and it'll say, okay, you have to go ahead and input the information. I can also apply information to all the labs at once. So I indicate my lab here, assign to, I can put some clinical information, specimen source, volume information there, and then select apply to selected. I also have my progress note where I can take action there. I can fax, e-transmit information. Notice the exclamation mark here. So it's basically letting me know I can't fax it because I have no fax number. So I need to make sure I put that information there. And so that way it can send out the information. I can also just click on my ellipsis button here and search my provider information here referring, and if they have a fax number, I'll go ahead and populate it there. Once I click send, it sends out the information for everything that's ready to go and selected here. So everything that is a green check mark, which is selected, it'll go ahead and take action on all of them. So it's a common send window. And I have my 4 patients. The 4 patients is going to give me the ability to print out patient education for the patient. So if any patient education needs to be printed there, I could go ahead and publish the progress note or visit summary, to the portal here, or I could even print it. If I need to print the vaccine administration record or the state form for a specific state, I could do that here. And if I click on the drop down here, it also, if there's any additional options, will give it to me. And RX education, I could go ahead and print out my RX education materials. Now what the common send button allows you to do here is take action on all of them at once. For the patients here, again, I can print my education, visit summary, I can print or publish it, print my immunization information, and RX education just by clicking the send button. Okay? So I can select the items that I want to take action on, and then click the send button. Outgoing referrals. Outgoing referrals can be created from the treatment section of the progress note.